Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's GlamCam, and in this video I brought you guys another knotless braids tutorial. So this time I tried something new. I did medium to big size knotless braids just because they're quicker, and I like how sophisticated they look. They're giving me Poetic Justice vibes. Also, they're still very versatile, and I did them even longer since they're bigger. I had to add more hair halfway through it. So that's a new technique that I tried. And I also pre-parted my hair because I wanted a better parting style. I wanted my parts to be more intricate and just more organized and more professional looking. So I did a new parting system where I went around the crown of my head and did a different part style. Just because they were bigger, I wanted to focus more on the parts because they would be showing more, and I focused on the length of the braids because they're bigger. So I added hair, and I'm going to show you guys how I added hair halfway through the braid, and also how I parted my hair in this intricate little professional looking parting style, just to give your braids a different edge, just to make them look more professional than homemade DIY braids. So if you find this content helpful, please comment down below your favorite part, or if you have any questions, and give this video a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to my channel because I'll have more tutorials coming for you guys. So stay tuned and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post new videos. So let's get to it. So I actually used 4 packs of the Braid Babe braiding hair. I used the color 1, which is just black, and I think these inches is 54 inches, so in total I used about 4 packs of this hair. In each pack you get 3 bundles of braiding hair. Each bundle of braiding hair gave me enough hair for about 2 braids. I did 5 sections for each braid. There's 3 large sections for the initial part of the braid, and then the additional 2 sections of hair are about half the size of the big sections, or a third size of the big sections, because it's add-on hair just to make the ends look fuller. So this is how I initially parted my hair before I even started braiding. I separated my hair into, I guess, 5 sections, and these part sections were subject to change. They were just initial parting outlines to guide me in the direction of what I was trying to do. So I did the nape of my head, and then I did around the side, and then I did the crown in 2 sections. And as I parted, I actually redid the parts to make them more neater. So the back, I actually made that into 2 rows, and I have 2 in the back and then 3 in the second row, and I'm still doing box sections. And then I'm going around the crown of my head, and that's another third row that I'm starting. And this was when the braids, kind of get a little smaller, but I pre-parted them. As you can see, I have them already pre-parted to help me proportion out the size of the braid so that one isn't too big and one isn't too small, but they're relatively the same size. So I found this method to be very helpful to pre-section out your parts before you even start braiding the entire row. Just pre-section out the entire row before you start braiding, so that you already know the size of the braids before you kind of jump in it and how many braids are in each row. So now I'm preparing my hair for the braid. I'm going to detangle the section lightly just because they're bigger sections. I want to make sure that they're even more detangled. And then I'm going to go in with my moisturization products, and, just preparing my hair to be moisturized through the protective style. So here I'm using Lush's R&B hair moisturizer, which is really, really good, y'all. I'm kind of scraping the jar at this point because I ran out. And then I'm using Organics' anti-breakage serum, which has like coconut milk and has egg proteins in it. And I love Organics products. I'm really starting to get into their products. I also use their leave-in or rinse out hair butter. And then the main product you're really going to need is a bunch of edge booster or any type of smoothing edge control. You can use jam or any type of pomade that you like, but I love edge booster just because I got this big jar. I'm just going to use it for like everything. But basically I'm going to slick down the base of the braid just to make sure all the hair is slicked down towards the braid. Doing bigger braids, you have to make sure that you put more effort into making the base of the braids neater, because since they're bigger, hair is prone to like slip out throughout the wearing process. I don't know how to word it, but like bigger braids don't last as long, so I put more effort into sleeking down the roots to make sure that they last a little longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to go ahead with the braiding process. If you see my knotless braids video prior to this, then you kind of get the gist of the method, but I'm going to go over it again just for those who didn't see it. So I separate the hair into 3 sections, and each section gets 2 halves of the braid hair. So I'm going to get 1 half and I'm going to give it to 2 sections, braid, get back to my left hand since I'm left-handed. I'm going to get another braiding section. Each half is going to go in between those 2 sections that are separated. I'm going to braid that in very tightly, guys, very tightly. And then I'm going to go over and add in the 3rd section, the 3rd large section. Give each half to the 2 sections that are separated, and then I'm going to braid that in. So this way, each of the 3 sections of braids, each 3 sections has an even amount of hair. It gets confusing, but each section gets an even amount of hair, and I just go ahead and braid down until I get to the ends of my hair. So when I get to the ends of my hair and you see how bushy they are, I just take some more of that edge booster and I slick down the ends just so they don't end up sticking out of the braid. And I do that for all 3 of the sections. And then I'm going to continue braiding until I run out of hair. And then that's when I'm going to add in the extra 2 smaller sections of braid hair. And as you can see, while I'm braiding, I'm like gripping it right at the base and I'm twisting it in so that my hair does not kind of stick out, and I'm like twisting my natural hair into the braid hair, and it just keeps the braid looking tighter and neater. So when I run out of my natural hair and I'm kind of halfway down the braid, I grab that smaller section and I'm going to slip it in between those 2 sections that are separated, just like I kind of did at the roots, and I'm going to twist that in. You see I twist it into the braid. I'm kind of going to twist backwards and then braid it just to keep the hair tightly in the braid and kind of blending in with the rest of the braid. I'm going to do that process one more time, slip it in, and then twist it in tightly and braid very tightly so that it just looks seamless with the braid, because if you don't, it will show that it's been added in and it'll look very tacky. So then I'm going to just go ahead and continue braiding down the rest of my hair. So here I'm showing you how I finished sectioning out the rest of my head. In the crown of my head, I parted that down the middle and I separated that into 6 sections, 3 on each side, and I sectioned them out and just put them in rubber bands just to pre-part them so I know that each braid is proportioned and even, just to make sure that they all look symmetric and aligned with each other and in proportion and size. And I really like this parting method. It just makes sure that I know what I'm doing and that, you know, the braids are going to turn out looking professional and even. And this is the finished look. So I'm really happy about how they turned out. They just look so sleek and just so uniform with this parting method and this size. And they're still very versatile, but very much safer than smaller braids because they cause less tension on the roots. So and we're not done yet, guys. I'm just going to go in with this Firm Hold Styling Foam from Dr. Miracles. I'm going to put this all over my roots just to make sure that I postpone frizziness and prolong the sleekness of the roots and just keep my hair looking as neat as possible for as long as possible. So I'm just going to put this all over my roots, making sure that they're slicked down. And then I'm going to sit under the dryer for about 20 to 30 minutes. But I'm also going to put this all over my braids just to, it really, like, styling foam really postpones frizziness. It keeps your hair in place for a longer period of time than without it. So I always make sure I go in with a good styling foam just to hold my braids in place, just to keep them lasting longer. So that's it for today's video. If you have any questions on how I accomplish this style, whether it be the parting, the hair, the braiding method, please comment your questions down below. I will be replying, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.